Please welcome to the stage the Vice President of Measurement Products, Samba TV, Cole Strain.
Wow. Hi, everybody. What an outstanding intro. My name is Cole Strain. I'm the Vice President of Measurement Products at Samba TV. I got my start in data science and ads research. I like to tell people if their ads work, and I like to review viewership behavior. How do people watch? How do we consume content? How do we play on the internet? How do we play on TV? I want to talk to you a little bit about streaming, ads, and binging today. And if you haven't heard about Samba TV, I want to tell you a little bit about how we collect our data. So Samba TV is a pioneer in automatic content recognition, which we commonly call ACR technology. ACR is a chipset level integration that we have directly built into smart TVs. We have integrations with over 20 different brands of smart TVs. And combined with our data partnerships, we actually see viewership behavior from 48 million global TV devices. There's two things, not on the slide, that are important for you to know. First, all of the data that we use is 100% opted in, and it's passively collected. So no one goes to the houses, no checks are mailed. Passive collection. The second thing to know, Samba TV is really, really good at streaming. We've developed a lot of technology in the last couple of years in order to be able to complete our capture within the streaming space. And so every month, we are automatically and instantaneously ingesting. So the moment the puck drops, those first notes of the opening credits, we are instantly ingesting 2,000 hours of new and original streaming content every single month that goes into our content library. We join that with the 48 million devices we have out in the wild, and we're able to get a sense of what's going on in the living room. So that's how the tech works. I want to talk to you a lot more about streaming and my favorite type of streaming, which has been streaming. So I'm going to say a probably non-controversial statement. Streaming originals draw viewership. I like to quantify that. I started as an analyst, so I like to quantify that. Here are some of the top streaming shows from the first half of this year. A couple things I noticed on the side. Last of Us is killing it. Netflix is killing it. And then the final thing I noticed were the red and the blue bars. And that's what I want to talk about. The red and the blue bars. So the blue bar is the first 4 days of viewership. Nope, other way. Red bar is the first 4 days of viewership. The blue bar is the first 15. So what we see on these top streaming shows is the impact of viewership happens very, very quickly, right? You see that spike, and this is probably not surprising. But when we expand this analysis to all of the streaming originals that occurred in the first half of the year, we actually see that this is a very common trend. In the first 51 days of viewership, 44% of your viewers are going to watch in the first 4 days. 78% are going to watch in the first 15, and this is important. This is the focal point, because after this, it really drops off. I think we're at 93% by day 31. That's about 1% a day. And by day 51, that's only 7 extra points, about 1/3% a day. Right, so this is streaming, it's on demand, it's not like the content view disappears. There's a long tail here, but the big splash you get is occurring in the first 15 days. But you know what, that's fine. These streaming platforms, they have a ton of content, you get them in with the splash and they stay and they dabble, right? Well, we investigated that claim. And what we found was something really interesting. There is this population of people, and it's not small, who come to a streaming platform for one and only one piece of original streaming content. They're going to watch one show of your top 50, and that's it. And that's weird. We thought that was really weird. And so we want to talk a little bit more of this at the platform level. So Netflix, of course, is a little bit of an outlier here, and I promise to circle back to them. But if you look at the other platforms, from Disney Plus to Hulu, about half of the viewers are only coming for one streaming original. That feels important for people to know. But I couldn't get past. I needed to stop. I stopped the whole team. Guys, there's something I need to know. This is important. I can't go on. Me, personally, Cole, cannot go on unless I learn. What's the show? What's the one show? What are half the people who come to Disney Plus watching? What is the one show? Well, we had the data, so I pulled it. Mandalorian for Disney Plus, Ted Lasso, Kardashians. All right, curiosity satisfied, we can go on. Let's talk more about Netflix, because it feels like they're doing something a little bit different, right? In this analysis, we've already normalized for the crazy amount of content that Netflix has. We're only looking at the top 50 originals. So what else is going on? Well, Netflix has a super high propensity for bulk release content. They drop the whole thing at once, and then binging ensues. These are the top binged programs of H1, and Netflix dominates this chart. It's almost every single one. They had 5 shows where over 60% of the viewing audience binged every available episode in the first 5 days. 5 different shows where we just ate it all up. We like to binge, and if you give us the opportunity to do so, we absolutely will. When we expand beyond the top binging programs, we'll see that 47% of viewers will watch every episode in the first 5 days when you give them the chance. When we survey US adults, 72% say, yeah, I binge. Quick show of hands, who binges? Well, sure. Maybe higher than 72%, but you know, bias crowd. Okay, so we like to binge, we will binge. If you give us the opportunity, we're gonna binge. And interestingly, what we have found is that bingeability may be more important than buzz when it comes to completing a season. So this chart on the top, bulk release shows 45% of the households who begin the show finish the season. Weekly release, 35%, right? That's 10 percentage points, but on those multi-million household viewership numbers we were seeing, that's hundreds of thousands, that's millions of viewers who are starting but not completing a series. Now, for the storytellers in the room, that's probably, you know, you got a bad gut feeling on that because no one gets to the end of the story. For folks who work in advertising or on streaming platforms who are considering advertising, if folks aren't finishing your series, that's less spots, less pods, right? This is important. When we look at the top when we look at the top programs on the series completion rate, we see that Queen Charlotte, which is the Bridgerton story, 61% of households make it all the way through from beginning to end. But look at the weekly release lineup. These are some heavy hitters. This is Ted Lasso, this is Mandalorian, this is Succession. People started those series and didn't finish them. People didn't finish Ted Lasso. I took that one a little personally. The final thing to know about bingers is that they're habitual. They're gonna come back and they're gonna binge again. When we looked at the top binged program of H1, which was MH370, the plane that disappeared, when we look at their other streaming preferences, 47 out of 50 were also Netflix shows. 47 out of 50. That's 1.5 times as high as the top viewers of the other top streaming programs. They're 1.5 times as likely to come back to Netflix. And what did they watch? Murdaugh Murders. And if you're really paying attention, about 4 slides ago, that was the number 7 bingeable show for H1. They actually watched it about 30% more than they watched The Last of Us, which was the biggest show of H1. Bingeability, it's important. So, in our quick 10 minutes, what should you take away? Originals drive viewership, but the splash is short. Get about 15 days. And what else did I say? I said a third point. We only watch one original streaming program. We don't go for all of the content on the platform. We go for a piece of content on the platform. Bingers, there are way more of them than we think they are. 70% of households would say they're a binger, and 47% of households will watch every available episode in 5 days when we give them the chance. Bingers are more likely to complete the series, they're more likely to complete the season, which is important for both platforms, advertisers, and storytellers. And finally, bingers are habitual. They're gonna come back. They're gonna binge more. My name is Cole. Please don't take away my binging. Come say hi later. Thank you.